What's up, Cowboy fans? Cowboy conversation right now. I just need to get an ashtray. So, big win versus the Saints. I know I'm late. It's like Monday. We won that game Thursday. And I don't know if I got into the one about the Washington Redskins game either. I don't even know if I went there. But what I do know is I'm pretty sure I put in my video, the last video I had, I felt like we was gonna beat the Saints. And I don't want to pat myself on the back and stuff. Anyway, I don't pat myself on the back. I usually aim for like the top of the shoulder. But what matters is that defense that we got is some kind of crucial. I knew this going into the game. I knew this. I think I said it on my last video. You can go back and check. I don't know. I don't rewatch those videos. But what I do know is the defense. The secondary is young. Let's start there. The secondary is young. Real good and young. You know what I'm saying? They got Byron Jones to anchor that thing because he ain't too young to know how to do his thing. The linebackers is young, but they don't play young. They don't play young at all. Matter of fact, they play like, you know what I mean? They play like Pro Bowlers. The defensive line is cock diesel. You hear me? And the best part is they all complement each other. When you think about Awuzie is a very, very aggressive corner, but he doesn't take chances. At least I don't see him taking a lot of chances. He he's just aggressive. He wants to come at you and make sure you don't catch the ball. With Byron Jones, I don't look at him as an aggressive cornerback, but I look at him as a talented cornerback. You know what I mean? As a fundamentally sound, you know what I mean, athletically gifted. I could check your best receiver for most of the game, cornerback. Also, with a defensive line like we got, you ain't got all day to throw the ball to him anyway. I mean, the safeties, you got Xavier Woods, who I've been a big fan of and watching, been waiting. And you can see it's just slowly but surely. It's coming along. It's coming. It's coming. You know, he's got that Ed Reed in him. You might not get Ed Reed. We might not get Ed Reed. I understand that. But I seen him lay some licks last game. I seen him make plays all season. And I mean, bro, the future's bright. The defense, whoo. I mean, it's like, it's scary, bro. The defense is nice. But now I've said throughout the season, we need another coach. You know what I mean? Jason Garrett isn't really, he's not really cut out for winning a Super Bowl. And he might go get one. Tom Coughlin got one. I mean, you never know how these things work. The NFL's game of inches. And right now, we got the type of guys that'll take them inches. As you saw in the Saints game. Now, do I think we could do that to the Saints again? Yeah. Yeah, I really, yeah, I think we could do that to the Saints again. Better question is, do I think their defense can do that to our offense again? Now you ask yourself, do you think their defense look like they can stop our offense consistently? By the way, before you answer, they had one turnover the whole game on offense, Saints. It was at the end of the game. So it basically did not determine the game. Now, yeah, it was the end of the game. It was the end of the game turnover, and we got to kneel the ball down and get one first down and kneel. It did not determine the game. You know what I mean? The game was already determined. Even the 7 points they got, don't forget, you know what I mean, that stiff arm, bro. That type of stiff arm, anybody will get away with that. Anybody will make it. You know what I'm saying? Anybody's gonna score a touchdown if they're allowed to stiff arm their defender. You know what I mean? En route to catching the ball. Like you just can't do that. The only reason they didn't call it was because it was 4 people around. You know what I mean? Like 6 people around that play. So it's hard to see a hand extending, but it ain't hard to see that guy leaning back. It was a bad call. It was a missed call. You know, whatever, whatever. So when I say that interception didn't determine the game, but those 2 turnovers that we had gave them more life than they had all night. You know what I'm saying? We didn't play up to par on offense. Even with the win, we didn't play up to par. 13 points is kind of pathetic. Even though we probably could have scored 16 or 20, we was at the goal line. We kneeled the ball down and took the win. Um, you know, even though we didn't score, we should have scored, at least 20, 27 points. Easy. Um, Part of it is just consistently putting too much pressure on the passing game. Like unneeded, unnecessary pressure. Just putting pressure on the passing game. I saw Kareem Hunt get released, and part of me wanted to say, hey man, let's go get Kareem Hunt. Not to replace Ezekiel Elliott, of course. But to replace kind of Rod Smith as far as right now. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. He's probably not gonna play for the rest of the season. So, we probably have to go another route when it comes to Kareem Hunt. But, another weapon probably would help offensively. I mean, I guess just to give the coaches more options. Because when you think about it, it's like we got enough options. We got enough weapons. We got enough talent. We got all the stuff we need. I mean, you can see it. We was being productive. It's just when you get into the red zone, you know what I mean? We have to understand that our strategy as a team needs to be different than the strategy of those other NFL teams. We don't, what I mean? Like going into the red zone and starting to pass. Like, let's just pass the ball. Let's throw the ball here. Let's throw it there. Like, at some point, you have to wake up as a coaching staff and say, hey, my quarterback's in his 3rd year. He's got a lot of receivers who aren't really experienced in having success in the red zone in the NFL. I mean, probably in the red zone anywhere. You know what I mean? So you got those factors. Then you got a really good running back. And I understand we get down there and it gets congested, bro. It's hard to run the ball. It's hard to do anything. But most of that is because you're predictable. You know what I mean? If you're predictable, yeah, it is hard to do anything. If they know exactly what you're doing, it's kind of hard to make anything happen in a closed confined area. You know what I'm saying? Closed confined area. We need more quarterback runs, design quarterback runs. And I saw a couple. I saw a couple in the Saints game. They worked. You know what I mean? That's the thing that I saw. They work. They usually work because you have a running quarterback. That dude can run the ball. He's a football player before he's a quarterback. Like, this is true. This is not a fabrication. He is a football player long before he is a quarterback. In fact, I want to say his football life still outnumbers his years as a quarterback. You know what I mean? Dak became a quarterback, his senior year of high school, junior year of high school. So you're talking about what, 5, 6 years, of being a quarterback. And at Mississippi State, I think the first year he was that wasn't really a quarterback. That was mostly kind of that gimmicky thing like Tim Tebow did, where you run the ball most of the time in short yardage situation. You may do a jump pass or something. Usually you're running the ball. Um, that's a football player. That's not a quarterback. You know what I mean? That's not somebody who was adept in the red zone. You know what I mean? Who just is always gonna make the perfect pass. And understand, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of Dak Prescott, bro. A 4th-round quarterback who a lot of people was questioning whether he could play quarterback in NFL like his whole career. A lot of people have always questioned, can this guy play quarterback in the NFL? I question, can this guy play quarterback in the NFL when he was at Mississippi State? Like, you know what I mean? that really wasn't his biggest, the best part of his game in Mississippi State. And you see him come to the NFL, and he just so happened to come to the Cowboys, my team. You know what I mean? Team I root for. And like the first season, lights out, bro. Like lights out. Whatever you asked of him, he did that. You know what I'm saying? He gave you what you asked for. The second year, it wasn't perfect. Your running back being out for 6 games amidst all this controversy of when he's gonna be out, is he gonna be out? Your left tackle going down. Your wide receiver, star wide receiver, being a bit of a diva, but more importantly, just being banged up. You know what I'm saying? The most important part was that Dez Bryant was banged up last year. He wasn't the same Dez Bryant that, you know what I'm saying, that we had grown accustomed to, that he had the first year even. Um, and part of that happened in the first year. I mean, you remember the ankle injury, and it's just ankle injuries are tough anyway, bro. They're tough to come back from. They reverberate. You know what I'm saying? They reverberate over and over again. They come back. So you could tell Dez wasn't the same after that little ankle injury, knee injury thing he had early in their rookie year, early in Zeke and Dak's rookie year. All that being said, like a smarter coach knows, you know what I'm saying? You just don't put players in situations that they aren't usually successful in. You know what I mean? I'm not saying don't ever try it, but it shouldn't be more times than not that we're trying it. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be trying to be a passing team in the red zone if we're a running team everywhere else. Like we're a running team, then let's run the ball. And it's one of those things, bro. I feel like when Jason Gary isn't our coach anymore, we'll be better served for it. But in the meantime, good win. Good win over the Saints. Coach clapped it up. You know what I mean? He clapped it up. It shouldn't have been as close as it was, but who cares? You know what I mean? Let's get that W. I like the fact that we're in these close games because, you know, I know we got grit. I think other teams know it too. We got grit, and no matter what's going on, we ain't quit. We're not out of it. You know what I mean? We know what we can do to get ourselves back in this game. We've been there before. You know what I mean? Sorry, I had a text. I should have been answering text, but I ain't answer. Anyway, so it's looking nice. A lot of people, it don't take one game for somebody to jump on your bandwagon. A lot of people want to jump on it. They hesitating. They thinking. They basically positioning themselves to jump on it. You know what I'm saying? I think this week we got the Eagles. The Eagles seem like they falling off. You know what I'm saying? They really seem early in the season. It looked like they had fallen off. Like they just didn't have whatever edge they had last year. They ain't got it this year. Like, and I don't know what it is. I don't even care. That's not my team. I like beating the Eagles. So hopefully we can get another W because we seem to be rolling. I think the teams that they should come back out motivated by their poorest performance last week. And it was one of the things where it was like they performed good, but then a few little mistakes just made the whole game seem like the Saints were a lot closer to us than they were. When you know what I'm saying, if you watch that game, you know what happened. You know exactly what happened. We beat that ass, cuz. We beat that ass in every sense of the word, cuz like we beat that ass. Look, they couldn't throw much. They really couldn't throw it much. They ran it. They got close to the goal line. They got one of the most gruesome hits that they gonna ever get. You know what I'm saying? Laid on that little running back. And it's just hey, bro, you can bring that savage life, but just make sure whoever you bring it to ain't vicious. Cause our defense is vicious. You say y'all savage? Oh, our defense is vicious. You see Jalen Smith. You see Van Der Esch. And I ain't know how to say Van Der Esch till I got a Van Der Esch. I'm trying to tell people that. I ain't know how to say Van Der Esch. But once I got a Van Der Esch, they ain't have to teach me nothing. Van Der Esch. Oh, Van Der Esch? Again, yes. Balling. I don't know which one gonna be better. I don't even care. I just want to see them keep getting better and motivating each other to get more better. Sean Lee come coach them up, be better. He gonna be a coach. People talking about Sean Lee. Don't worry about Sean Lee. Sean Lee is our coach. He's our linebacker coach. He's probably gonna be that for a few years before he get promoted to something bigger. That dude know the game. You know what I'm saying? Inside out. He know what play is gonna be ran next. That dude know the game. So when you see Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch performing the way they do, it's a reason they keep going back and giving credit to Sean Lee. I mean, I know it. Everybody knows it, and everybody knew it. I kind of knew it from the door. Like when they came in, Sean Lee's gonna teach them because mentally, he's physically he's not the biggest guy. He's not the fastest guy, but he plays like a pro bowler. But mentally, that's why he plays like that. Mentally, that dude there is probably, if not the best in the game at that spot. He's tired. They're tired. You know what I'm saying? They're tired at that spot. Because mentally, he knows the game inside and out. He know what's coming. He know where to be. And he know what to do when you get there. You know what I mean? And it looked like he can teach somebody else that. Because Van Der Esch, at the beginning of the season, he looked like, But you see now, with tutelage, with, a little experience to go with the tutelage. That kid looked like Brett Favre on defense. You know what I'm saying? Only he don't play quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Not that kind. So we ready. I'm ready. Next week, let's hope we get some more running in that thing. I really like the way they use Zeke, but they're going to use him up if they do that every game. So that's why the Kareem Hunt thing was kind of like, throw him in there on third downs, here and there. By no means do I want him to replace Zeke. I don't even want him to take 20, 30, maybe 20%. He can have 20% of the workload. But, no more than that. It's just that we don't get much of anything from Rod Smith right now. And, maybe later he'll develop, he'll be a little better. Probably not. But, a guy like Kareem Hunt, you would notice that third down running back. You'd notice that changeover. It would throw something else at the defense to really make them think. Plus he can catch the ball out the backfield too. So, I know Kareem probably ain't gonna play no more this year, but I pick him up. I pick him up anyway. I mean, they punished us last year for having a guy who didn't hit a chick. So it's only right that we get a guy who did push, shove, and little kick. I don't know. I didn't see the video, but either way it go. Eagles up next. We got a lot of cupcakes left. You know what I mean? I don't want to say cupcakes because the Giants are like in hater mode. They in full hater mode. If you ain't seen the Giants playing, they in full hater mode. They want to hate on everybody, so they gonna come with it. Um, I think we got the Redskins again. I think we might be. I don't know. Anyway, I think if we got the Redskins again, that might be the toughest game we got left on the schedule. Everybody else is the Buccaneers, the Eagles. They're pretty much beatable. The Giants, pretty much beatable. You know. So I think that's pretty much around the rest of the schedule. The Giants, the Eagles, Philly, and the Buccaneers. We should beat the Buccaneers. Our defense should show up and show out against that type of team because that's the type of team that the NFL is trying to move to, where they just they're pass happy, they throw it a lot, and they put up points on the right team. They put up points on the right one. They find the right ones to do that too. They'll put up points. But you bring it into the somebody at the AT&T Stadium with Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch, who could check your tight end or your running back, since you just want to keep doing that. I mean, it's a different story. It's a different ball game. You know what I mean? They close and they tackle, and they put pressure on your quarterback. And I mean, it's the type of team that can sneak up and win that Super Bowl. You know, it's always a sneaky somebody that like to get in there from the NFC anyway. I think the last three were the Falcons, the Eagles. Before the Falcons, it was like the Panthers or somebody. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, it's sneaky teams that's getting in there. People that you weren't expecting to get in there at the beginning of the year. So Dallas, I mean, we might be due. You know, we think we're gonna win it every year anyway. So I see you in the Super Bowl.